In June 2019, the shocking discovery of Irish dancer Adrian Murphy's lifeless body in a Battersea flat sent ripples through the quiet South London community. What initially appeared to be a tragic mystery unraveled into a chilling tale of deceit, poison, and murder. Investigators uncovered a dark partnership between Joel Osei and Diana Cristea, who targeted victims through social networking apps and drugged them with a lethal drug known as devil's breath. As detectives pieced together the evidence, their ruthless scheme and its devastating consequences exposed the horrifying depths of their calculated crimes. Welcome to Urban Crime Stories. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for upcoming episodes. Also, please watch this episode to the end as we have bonus content. Joel Osei, born in 1994, is a figure shrouded in mystery, with little information publicly available about his early years or upbringing. By the time he reached the age of 25, however, he had already embarked on a path of calculated criminality. Osei, alongside his 19-year-old former partner Diana Cristea, formed a sinister duo that preyed on unsuspecting individuals in North London. Their crimes revolved around a deceptive scheme that relied on using Grindr, a popular social networking app, to befriend men. What began as seemingly innocent interactions quickly escalated into a carefully orchestrated plan to exploit and rob their victims. Using fake profiles on Grindr, Osei targeted men and arranged meetings under false pretenses. Once he gained the trust of his victims, he carried out his scheme with chilling precision. During these encounters, Osei administered scopolamine, a powerful and dangerous drug known as the devil's breath. This drug is infamous for its ability to render victims unconscious and disoriented, leaving them vulnerable to manipulation. Under the influence of scopolamine, the victims were unable to resist or even comprehend the theft of their possessions. Osei took full advantage of this, stealing valuables ranging from electronics and cash to personal belongings. Diana Cristea played a crucial role in this operation, acting as Osei's accomplice and facilitator. After Osei robbed the victims, he handed the stolen items to Cristea, who handled the next phase of their criminal enterprise. Her primary responsibility was selling the stolen goods online, turning their ill-gotten gains into financial profit. This division of labor underscored the calculated and organized nature of their partnership, with both individuals playing specific roles to ensure the success of their scheme. The crimes committed by Osei and Cristea were not just about theft, they were acts of profound betrayal and exploitation. By using Grindr to establish a false sense of connection, Osei and Cristea manipulated their victims into a position of vulnerability. The use of scopolamine added a particularly insidious element to their actions, as it deprived the victims of their ability to protect themselves, leaving them at the mercy of their attackers. The psychological and emotional trauma endured by the victims extended far beyond the loss of their possessions. Joel Osei and Diana Cristea's criminal activities had gone unnoticed by law enforcement until June 2019, when a tragic event brought their schemes into sharp focus. Adrian Murphy, a 43-year-old Irish dancer, was found dead on June 4, 2019, at a flat on Lombard Road in South London where he had been staying. Investigators later determined that Adrian had likely died on June 1st. His unexpected death triggered a meticulous and wide-ranging investigation, uncovering a web of deceit and criminality orchestrated by Osei and Cristea. A post-mortem examination provided critical insights into Adrian's death. While no signs of defensive injuries, restraint, or sexual activity were found, toxicology tests revealed alarmingly high levels of scopolamine in his system, a drug known for its ability to incapacitate victims. The pathologist concluded that the scopolamine was directly responsible for his death. Adding to the evidence, investigators discovered traces of the drug inside an empty drink can in the flat. Surveillance footage from the building further implicated Joel Osei. At 10:20 p.m. on June 1st, CCTV captured him exiting an elevator and heading toward Adrian's flat. A few hours later, at 12:05 a.m. on June 2nd, he was seen leaving the building carrying a bag, later confirmed to be filled with items stolen from Adrian. As detectives delved deeper, they uncovered a trove of digital evidence that exposed the coordination between Osei and Cristea. While Osei was at the South London flat with Adrian, he engaged in 23 separate calls and messages with Cristea, demonstrating her active involvement in the scheme. After leaving the flat, Osei met Cristea and handed over stolen items, including laptops, phones, a designer bag, a wallet, clothes, and bank cards. This partnership, marked by meticulous planning and execution, showcased their organized approach to targeting and exploiting their victims. On June 2, 2019, Cristea wasted no time in monetizing the stolen goods. Using her phone, she took photographs of the items and posted them online for sale. The pair also exploited Adrian's financial resources by using one of his bank cards to make nearly $3,000 worth of purchases on computer software. Their brazen actions didn't stop there. That same day, they created a PayPal account in Adrian's name, but linked it to Cristea's former address in Tottenham. In an even more audacious move, they attempted to purchase $80,000 worth of luxury goods from a diamond jeweler in New York, marking an escalation in the scale of their crimes. Adrian Murphy's death became the catalyst for exposing the true extent of Osei and Cristea's predatory behavior. Their callous exploitation of Adrian, both during his life and after his death, revealed the depth of their greed and disregard for human life. This case not only highlighted the calculated and methodical nature of their operations, but also brought their reign of deceit and manipulation to an end. Through diligent investigative work, law enforcement began piecing together the events that would ultimately lead to their capture and prosecution. As the investigation into Adrian Murphy's death deepened, detectives uncovered a chilling connection to another incident that had occurred just days earlier, on May 30th, 2019, in East London. In this case, a 40-year-old man had fallen victim to Joel Osei's deceitful schemes. The victim had invited Osei to his flat after the two had connected on a social networking app. What began as a seemingly innocent meeting took a sinister turn when the victim suddenly became incapacitated, a hallmark of Osei's calculated use of scopolamine. Neighbors later found the victim conscious, but entirely unresponsive, prompting them to seek medical assistance. Police forensic analysis played a crucial role in unraveling the events of that day. A sample of the victim's hair revealed high levels of scopolamine, confirming that Osei had drugged him to render him defenseless. The drug's debilitating effects left the victim unable to protect himself or his property. When he returned home from the hospital, the grim reality of the crime became evident. His flat had been ransacked during his unconscious state. Items stolen included laptops, mobile phones, a wallet, and cash, mirroring the pattern of theft seen in Adrian Murphy's case. Further investigative efforts revealed the involvement of Diana Cristea, Osei's accomplice and co-conspirator. Phone records showed that Osei maintained contact with Cristea throughout the East London incident. Their communication underscored her active role in facilitating the crimes. CCTV footage from the area surrounding the victim's flat provided additional evidence. Osei was captured at approximately 3 p.m. on the day of the incident, walking along a nearby road and carrying bags believed to contain the stolen property. His movements were methodical, and the footage offered a glimpse into the precision with which he executed his crimes. After leaving the scene, Osei rendezvoused with Cristea, and the stolen items were quickly monetized. The pair traveled to a shop in Tottenham, where they used the victim's bank card to make several purchases. This brazen misuse of their victim's financial resources was a hallmark of their operations, reflecting a complete disregard for the consequences of their actions. A subsequent search of Cristea's address uncovered a trove of stolen goods from the East London flat. Officers also found photographs of the items on Cristea's phone, some of which had already been sold online. This discovery provided incontrovertible evidence of her involvement in the crime. In an unexpected and dramatic twist during the trial, the jury was presented with shocking revelations about the actions of Diana Cristea and Joel Osei. On June 19, 2019, Cristea made an emergency call, alleging that Osei had killed Adrian Murphy by drugging him and subsequently stealing his personal belongings. Her statement highlighted the cracks in their partnership, as she sought to implicate Osei directly in Adrian's death. Adding to the courtroom drama, Osei was discovered passing notes to Cristea while they sat in the dock, further underscoring their deeply intertwined but fractious relationship. Under mounting pressure during cross-examination, Osei made a partial confession, pleading guilty to several of the charges against him. However, the court ultimately found him guilty on multiple counts at Croydon Crown Court on October 23, 2020. His convictions included murder, administering a poison or noxious substance, manslaughter, administering poison with intent to injure, aggrieve, as well as 2 counts of theft and 8 counts of fraud. Cristea was convicted of the same charges, including selling stolen goods. In January 2021, Joel Osei was handed a life sentence with a minimum term of 32 years for the murder of Adrian Murphy. He also received a concurrent 5-year jail term for administering poison to endanger the life of the surviving victim in the East London case. No additional penalties were imposed for the theft and fraud charges, as the sentences were designed to reflect the gravity of his primary offenses. The judgment served as a definitive end to Osei's calculated and deadly spree, bringing some measure of justice for the victims and their families. 2 months later, in March 2021, Diana Cristea faced her sentencing. She was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 16 years for her role in Adrian Murphy's murder. Additionally, she received a 30-month concurrent detention sentence for her involvement in poisoning the surviving victim from East London. Similar to Osei, no separate penalties were issued for her fraud and theft convictions. Cristea's sentencing marked the conclusion of her involvement in the criminal saga, reflecting the court's recognition of her significant role in the crimes. Next, for our bonus content, we will examine the tragic story of Facile Teclamariam. In early April 2024, 53-year-old Facile Teclamariam was brutally murdered in his Washington, D.C. apartment. The Metropolitan Police responded to a report of a stabbing, discovering Facile's body with multiple injuries, including a missing right thumb. As details emerged, it was revealed that Tiffany Gray, a 22-year-old woman who had benefited from Facile's generosity, and her accomplice were behind the heinous act, exploiting his trust in a calculated plan for financial gain. Facile was known among his community for his calm demeanor and generous spirit. Described as an easygoing man, Facile had a reputation for being kind-hearted and always willing to lend a helping hand. His generosity extended beyond his immediate circle, and one person who particularly benefited from his giving nature was Tiffany Gray, a 22-year-old woman. Facile was known to be her sugar daddy, frequently spending money on her and showering her with gifts, creating a relationship built on financial support and companionship. Tiffany enjoyed the luxuries that Facile provided, and their relationship was well known among those who were close to them. Facile, though significantly older, seemed content in his role, always willing to fulfill Tiffany's needs and desires. Despite their unconventional arrangement, there appeared to be no tension or conflict between the two, and Facile's life carried on peacefully. However, what many didn't realize was that beneath the surface of this seemingly smooth relationship, things were about to take a darker turn. In early April 2024, Facile's life took an unexpected turn, shattering the semblance of peace he had cultivated. On what started as an ordinary day for him, soon spiraled into a series of events that would ultimately alter the course of his life. The tranquility that Facile was known for vanished, and in its place came confusion, fear, and uncertainty. As the day unfolded, it became clear that something was terribly wrong. On April 5, 2024, the Metropolitan Police Department responded to a chilling report of a stabbing in Washington, D.C. Upon entering Facile Teclamariam's apartment, officers were met with a harrowing scene. Facile lay lifeless in his bedroom, the victim of a brutal assault. He was discovered with multiple traumatic injuries, most notably a missing right thumb, a detail that would become pivotal in unraveling the mystery surrounding his death. The subsequent autopsy revealed the full extent of the violence he had endured, including severe blunt force fractures to his skull, numerous lacerations, and a stab wound. Additional cuts on his legs and the gruesome amputation of his right thumb painted a horrifying picture of the circumstances leading to his demise. As investigators meticulously combed through the crime scene, they uncovered evidence suggesting attempts had been made to sanitize the area, indicating a deliberate effort to conceal or destroy incriminating evidence. Despite these efforts, certain clues remained, including distinctive footprints that could potentially lead them to the perpetrator or perpetrators. The chaotic nature of the scene suggested a violent struggle, compelling detectives to reconstruct the timeline of events that had culminated in this tragic outcome. Every detail, no matter how small, was crucial in piecing together the narrative of that fateful night. Security camera footage from the lobby of Teclamarium's apartment building emerged as a critical piece of evidence in the investigation. Over the days leading up to his murder, the recordings captured two individuals present in the building on the night of the incident, just hours before Facile's body was discovered. Among them were Tiffany Gray and her accomplice, 19-year-old Audrey Miller, who were seen returning to the building on April 3rd at approximately 2 a.m. Their actions suggested a sinister motive, as they entered the premises carrying bags and boxes, later seen exiting with various items belonging to Facile. This behavior pointed to premeditated theft, raising alarms about their intentions and the nature of their relationship with the victim. The surveillance stills depicted masked figures in hooded sweatshirts, their identities hidden as they made off with Facile's possessions. This footage prompted detectives to delve deeper into the backgrounds of Tiffany and Audrey, unraveling a troubling narrative that contradicted the image of a straightforward arrangement between Facile and Tiffany. Investigators soon uncovered that Tiffany and Audrey had allegedly exploited the trust Facile placed in them. Disturbingly, they used Facile's severed thumb to gain access to his financial accounts, extracting funds for personal indulgences such as Uber rides, marijuana, and alcohol. This chilling act of betrayal underscored the lengths to which they were willing to go to benefit from Facile's generosity. On June 21, 2024, law enforcement made a significant breakthrough in the investigation of Facile Teclamarium's brutal murder, with the arrest of Audrey Miller. Charged with first-degree murder and armed felony murder, Miller now faces serious legal repercussions and is currently in custody, awaiting a preliminary hearing. This development underscored the severity of the crime and the violent nature of the events that led to Facile's tragic demise. As investigators pieced together the details of the case, it became evident that Audrey's involvement was part of a calculated plan, raising questions about the deeper motives at play. Just weeks later, on July 1st, authorities apprehended Tiffany Gray in Prince George's County based on a warrant for her arrest, also charging her with first-degree murder and armed felony murder. The quick action taken by law enforcement highlighted their commitment to ensuring that those responsible for Facile's death faced justice. As the investigation progressed, it was revealed that the motives behind the murder were a disturbing combination of financial gain and personal vendetta. This unsettling motive suggested a level of premeditation that painted a chilling picture of the relationships between Facile and the suspects. Tiffany's arrest in Prince George's County marked a crucial moment in the investigation. Once extradited to Washington, D.C., she will face serious charges that could result in severe penalties. The decision to pursue first-degree murder charges against both women indicated that authorities believed they had meticulously planned their actions, viewing Facile not merely as a companion but as a target for their ruthless schemes. Thank you for watching this episode. Please share your thoughts about these stories in the comments below. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on all notifications for upcoming episodes. Until next time, I will see you with another episode of Urban Crime Stories.